I'm sitting next to my very special guest right now who tries to hold a straight face when I'm around. Like, she's the female version of Bully Ray. She tries to be tough and intimidating, but then somehow she starts to laugh, and then I laugh when she laughs, and we both start to laugh, and then we both try to be mean again. So it's a comedy show in and of itself. Sitting next to me right now in my beautiful, palatial studio here at the PC in sunny Orlando, Florida, a mere 15 minutes after she left the ring, a mere 15 minutes after her big victory in the tag match tonight in the main event of NXT, is the woman that we could be calling our next NXT Women's Champion. Jordynne Grace, welcome to Busted Open After Dark.
Hello. Thank you.
How are you?
You glazed me so well. Thank you.
What? What?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's glazed. You're like complimenting me so much.
Oh,
like a glazed donut.
So wait, we have already started off with terminology that you know that I don't know, which we were discussing earlier this afternoon. We're not getting into it, but you just
so we can't.
We're not.
Okay.
We not only can't we, we're not going to. But so you glazed me?
No, you glazed me. You gave me all these compliments. You're like,
I put you over.
Yeah, like I was a plain donut, and then you glazed me. Like,
okay,
made me seem better than I am. Like, that's
okay, brother, where I come from, that's called putting you over. But I guess I glazed you. I don't want to downplay or forget about your list of accomplishments so far, because before you came on, I told people about you being a former TNA, women's champion. And, that in and of itself gives you credence as to why you could beat Stephanie come Battleground. You're a 3-time TNA women's champion. Mm-hmm. You're a former tag champion. And then you informed me about the digital media championship. And I was like, is that really a big deal? But that was my ignorance, because you're like, yes, it is a big deal, because I'm the first ever women's Triple Crown winner in TNA. Mm-hmm. So that is a big deal.
Yes, and I'm also the only woman to have ever won the Digital Media Championship, and will be the only woman ever, because they actually discontinued the championship like a month ago.
Okay, so that title's gone.
That title's gone.
So
they have I think it's I want to say Intercontinental or International Championship now.
Okay.
So they replaced it.
So basically you just glazed yourself.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Huge victory. You basically just got out of the ring a little while ago.
Yeah, I have my makeup wipes here just in case.
She legitimately, before she came on the air, she took the makeup wipes out of the case, and she was wiping off excess lipstick that was on her chin, which was pretty She's taking out the wipes again.
You are so lucky. This is probably the best I've ever looked after a match. Normally, this is gone.
Well, I
have my eyelashes.
But listen, you knew who you'd be sitting next to tonight, and you wanted to look and sound your best for Uncle Bully. I get it. So, listen, like I said, 20 minutes ago now.
Yep.
Just at a big tag match. You came out in the middle of the show tonight, and you basically told Stephanie to her face, I'm going to protect my investment. Yeah. I'm making sure that JC Jane and Fallon Henley don't get the best of you right now. We're going to be in a tag match tonight. I'm making sure you're getting to Battleground. Then you go in the match tonight, the tag match, you and Stephanie win, more because of what you did in the finish of the match. What's the name of your finish again?
Beast Mode.
Okay, so did you rename it?
I renamed it.
Okay, so you hit Beast Mode, you get the 1, 2, 3, you and Stephanie face to face. You got to tell me about your thoughts right now after that match. Do you think Stephanie Vaquer is worried about you?
I think she should be, if she's not, for sure. And I think after tonight, I think she definitely should be. She saw how far I would go to protect my investment and how much the title means to me. I pushed her out of the way of JC and Fallon's move that hurt me really bad, actually. Hit me right in the eye. So I think I saved her tonight, and I also won the match for us. So I think if she's not nervous or anxious about wrestling me, then she should be.
Do you think that your success and your history with championships in TNA has given you more confidence in NXT?
Oh, definitely. I feel like if I had come here a few years ago, if I had never gone to TNA, never won a championship, I think I would definitely have started way below where I am right now, and I would not have the confidence that I have right now. I know that I can hold a championship. I know that I can lead a women's division, and I know that I can bring the best out of everyone, a single one of my opponents.
let me hear that little chip on your shoulder for a second. What makes you so confident in yourself?
Because I just know who I am as a wrestler. I know that if there is only one good thing in this world that I'm good at, it is wrestling.
Okay, that's you know you're great at wrestling.
Yeah, you can say that I'm not good at promos. You can say that I'm not good at, I don't have a lot of charisma. You can say whatever you want. But when I get in the ring, I know what I'm doing.
I have definitely seen your growth over the years. I was talking at the beginning of the show about how me and you first went face to face and you screamed and yelled at me and you wanted to beat me up and everything.
You're talking about All In?
Yeah, the Battle Royal and All In. And I'll glaze you again in a second about that. But like I've seen the confidence in you grow over the years. But Stephanie is a pretty tough competitor. Like I had Stephanie on the show a couple of months ago, and her passion for wrestling.
She's incredible. There's absolutely no denying it. She fits into WWE so well. It's like almost like a glove. The crowd has taken to her immediately. And I feel like no matter where I go, it's never been like that. I've always had to fight and claw my way to the top. And I feel like she came in here and she was immediately loved, not only because people can see her passion, but because she is so amazing in the ring. She can do things that very, very few women's wrestlers can do.
Tell me about something that you notice in Stephanie that she can do that a lot of women wrestlers can't.
Oh my gosh. Her athleticism is incredible. She can walk out and do absolutely nothing and command a room. And that's incredible to me.
Dude, what you just said is huge because you used the word command. I'm a big preponderant of the word command, not demand. Demand is when a wrestler says, please love me, please love me. Command is when you can just stand there. But I think you have that also.
I don't know. I think it's something that you're born with. I think that I yell when I come to the ring to demand attention, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that.
Okay.
But yeah, she has something. She has it.
You have a background also in bodybuilding. I've seen you, I've seen you compete. I've seen you train for it. I've seen you be absolutely miserable a week out before a competition, and I've had to deal with you, which is like dealing with me. But that's another story for another day. Do you think that being on stage and posing has helped you in the world of pro wrestling?
That's a great question. You know what? I don't think so. Because in bodybuilding, I think how hard you work is apparent by the way you look. Like, the crowd can look at you and see how hard you've worked. They typically can't just look at me when I walk out and see everything that I've been through to get to this point. And bodybuilding, I think, is just a completely different world. Like, you can compare it to pro wrestling, but it's very, very different. Like, pro wrestling, there's a lot of different things that go into winning a match, right? Like, how people think about me, how the fans react. Like, it's not up to me, but it's 100% up to me. And this is why I love bodybuilding. It's 100% up to me to go out there and win. So that's the difference between bodybuilding and wrestling.
Okay. What in our world, we always want to make people feel a certain way by what we do out there. How do you think you make people feel? And how do you think you connect best with an audience?
I think I connect best with an audience when they know my backstory. That's the biggest thing about me. I think I want at least people to feel inspired when they see me because, trust me, I never thought that I would be in WWE. Like, I didn't even think I would be signed to a wrestling company. Like,
can I just cut you off right there?
Yeah.
Because I have to be honest with you about something.
Okay.
I get such lack of confidence vibes from you sometimes. Am I right?
Yeah, 100%.
But I really believe you should be more confident. Now, I know I can just say that,
yeah.
but you're doing
It's easier said than done.
I totally get it, but I see you doing all the things that should be helping you with your confidence as you go along.
Yeah.
So what about your backstory do you want people to know?
Oh, man, just that I really came from absolutely nothing, that I used to sleep on the floor of a one-bedroom apartment just to wrestle. I actually, to make ends meet when I was making like $20 wrestling at the time, I did a remote court transcription job and I would take it on the road with me on planes. I took it to Japan. Like, I would do this and make $1 typing a page and just do that to make ends meet. Like, It was a grind for a very, very, very long time. And I did not get my first contract until I was almost 10 years into wrestling.
Listening to your story about how difficult it was for you starting out reminds me of somebody, Stephanie Vaquer. Because she, we talked about making money in the business. And I'm all business all day long. And she's like, Bubba, money is not that important to me. And I was like, why? She's like, because when I didn't have money to buy food and I was on the streets, wrestling is what fed me. Do you feel do you get where she's coming from?
Yeah, I feel like wrestling is all I have. I think that Stephanie and I both climbed different mountains, but they were mountains nonetheless. We both had to claw and scratch. I know that's an overused phrase, but our way to where we're at now.
You've scratched and clawed your way in a cosmetic way in front of people your whole career. And I don't know if this is like an emotional thing for you to talk about or not.
I don't know either. Maybe if I start crying, we'll know.
Awesome. I make girls cry. Oh, I'm really good at it. So we always kid around. You're in the club.
Okay.
Your
club?
Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bubba Club,
But are we going to talk about how you hated me at first, though?
I hated you at first because your attitude sucked. And you hated... now she's waving her finger. She's saying, no.
He thinks that being quiet is an attitude.
You, much like me, are an acquired taste.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Okay. So when a younger wrestler comes off the way you come off, it's very easy to take that as a level of disrespect. But that's okay because I know you now. And I've watched you grow in a locker room. You're considerably different. And I'm really happy for you that you've grown in the locker room because I think it made you...
I try to smile more.
But that's okay. But sometimes, I would rather have your regular face than just a fake smile.
Okay.
And I know when you're smiling for real because right now, you're smiling for real. You're trying to hold it back, right? There you go. There's the real smile right there. So would you say that at heart you are a heavier person?
Oh, like a fatty at heart? Yes. Literally, I swear it's so.
I just high-fived her because she said it and I did it. She's a fatty at heart.
Are you not supposed to say it? I really don't know anymore. But I just feel like it is so. I'm sorry. It is so easy for me to put on weight because I love eating, and once I start, I just won't stop. Like, I've easily put on 10 pounds in a week.
I remember after your first competition, I think it was your first one, didn't you go and, eat yourself sick?
Yeah.
Tell me.
I had to go to the hospital because my stomach was, completely distended. And I had, edema, where your ankles and your legs swell up so bad.
You said edema, and I thought of Dreamer. Because she swells up all over the place.
Yeah.
But seriously, you trained so hard for that competition, right? And then you just went and ate like a fatty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it really backfired on you because your body couldn't handle it.
You're not supposed to do that.
But did you know you weren't supposed to do that?
Yeah.
But you did it anyway. You just didn't care.
I just did not care.
So no one stopped me. When you were younger, and you're not afraid to post pictures of yourself when you were younger and when you were heavier, you've obviously embraced it. You're not embarrassed by it. When did you say? Do you remember day one when you were like, you know what, I'm going to become a bodybuilder and train for a competition?
Honestly, no. Well, actually, it was a series of things. But I remember when I really started to get serious about it was I was in TNA. I had the Knockouts Championship for the first time ever. And I remember, and it's nothing against Deanna. Deanna is one of my closest friends. But she had gotten a release from WWE, and TNA almost immediately signed her. And she beat me for the Knockouts Championship like that.
Right.
Like, she came in. We had one match. I think I beat her in the one match. And then the next match, she just took it from me. It was like the same weekend. And I was like, I felt swept under the rug, to be honest with you. And so I was like, something about me has to change. And so I just got in the gym. I started dieting for the first time probably ever in my life. And I think they took notice. And that was when I finally, got my second reign. And they started to gave me the ball, and I grabbed it and ran with it.
We are sitting here with your former TNA Women's Champion, Jordynne Grace, and your possible next NXT Women's Champion when Jordynne takes on Stephanie Vaquer at Battleground. How confident are you going into this match? Scale of 1 to 10.
I would say 9.
And if I asked you what the 1 was for, what would you say? Is it your cardio? Is it your strength level these days? Is it your, do you not know enough about her game plan? Where, I don't want you to give away a weakness because I know she's listening. They all listen. They all listen to Uncle Bully's super sexy swinging sounds of his
I feel like if
sandpapery
you
smooth
say
voice.
10 out of 10, that's just jinxing yourself.
Not really. That's just
my personal
if
philosophy.
you could improve on one thing in the ring between now and Battleground, what would you want it to be?
You know, what you just said, I definitely would love to improve my strength because I feel like I fell off. But that would be the number one thing. I always want to improve my strength.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Listen, if you're 20, 30 minutes deep into the match, she's not a monster, but she's thick. You know, you're going to need some gas in the tank to get her up into the demon driver, devil driver. Beast mode.
Beast mode. Yeah.
Beast mode. You hit it with beast mode, it's over, right? Who is the biggest wrestler you've ever hit with beast mode?
Oh, let me think. It's definitely you.
But you hit it well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Right. She picked old Uncle Bully up and dropped him perfectly.
Right on the back of your head.
Right on the back of his head.
I'm just kidding. It was high shoulders.
Very high shoulders. Very broad and very high. You debuted at the Rumble, right? You were a big surprise at the Rumble, which had to be an incredible moment for you.
Yeah, surreal.
Can you I was going to say, it's probably so surreal, but can you remember it?
Yeah, I can remember it. I mean, what do you that moment, that day? What do you want to know?
Tell me about the second you hear your music hit, the second you go through the curtain and walking to that ring.
I was just like, holy shit, that's a lot of people. Like that was by far the biggest crowd I've ever wrestled in front of. I think, like we were talking about earlier, All In was probably the crowd before that was the biggest, and I was like, and this was what, 55, something like that. And it's so surreal being in front of like a group of people that big because it's almost like they become a collective unit at some point. Like it's like an ocean. Like it's like a wave. It's crazy. You just got to ride the wave.
And you did. And then you debuted in NXT. I would assume that the Royal Rumble was more intimidating than your debut in NXT, but I could be wrong about that. How was your debut in NXT for you? Like I'm down here once a week now, okay, and I see you throughout the day, and I'll very often be like, "What's wrong?" And you just look like a ball of nerves at times. You're an anxious person.
100%.
What was more anxious for you, the Rumble or your debut in NXT?
I think they were probably pretty much the exact same. Tonight, I was probably just as nervous as I was at the Rumble. Like, that's just how I am. Like, it's just one level.
So you always feel that anxiousness, those nerves?
No, literally, like, every single time I'm about to go wrestle, I just think, why do I keep doing this to myself? Like, I have so much anxiety.
Okay. You know what
But I feel great afterwards. Like, when I go out and I perform well, I'm like, oh, this is why I do it. But beforehand, like, at the Rumble and then my NXT debut, I'm admittedly not, like, the best at talking. Like, when I first started out doing promos, I would stutter a lot and I would talk too fast. And so now I try my best to just, like, talk slowly and enunciate. And that's just like my biggest thing is like, don't stutter because you're going to sound stupid, and enunciate everything so that people can understand you. And man, just my NXT debut, I had to cut a promo. And then the Rumble debut, I had to represent all of TNA. So yeah.
Intimidating?
Very much so.
Do you have any...
He's so confident. Like, I don't think he's ever nervous.
You want to know how nervous I get? I used to dry heave.
Oh my God.
Okay. I would dry heave.
Do you still do it though?
No.
Okay.
No.
So when do I get past this?
Get past what?
Get past being nervous.
You will. Eventually, one day, you will become one with the Force,
Okay.
Now, that's a Star Wars reference. So this is what I teach younger wrestlers, and you're younger than me, but in order to really get this and be able to do this the right way, you have to be able to calm down, and you have to calm your mind, because our mind is our biggest enemy when it comes to wrestling, because we think, and then when we get done thinking, we overthink.
Okay.
And when we get done overthinking, we keep thinking. Once you can calm your mind, that's when you can do this really well. Shawn Michaels. I've never, ever seen anybody calmer in a wrestling ring, and that's why he was able to perform at the level. And you can't tell yourself, like, every day, like, I'm going to be calm today, I'm going to be calm today. Eventually, you'll just hit that calmness level.
Well, let's knock on wood, because, man, I've been wrestling for a long time, and I feel like I've never been calm a moment in my life before a wrestling match.
But what's the most amount of dates you've ever wrestled in a year?
Oh, I don't know.
Tops 100?
Maybe.
Okay.
So maybe 3 times a week times 52.
So I will tell you this. One of the
Less than you.
Considerably.
Yeah.
You know, one of the benefits that we had, my generation, back in my day, brother, we were wrestling 300 nights a year. And you just get really, really good at what you do, and it teaches you how to be calm. You just go out there and you become, and one day that will happen for you also. And I hope you achieve your calm at Battleground. I hope you're able to go out, because once you're calm, you can truly be Jordynne Grace. Talk to me about your TNA days. What was the highlight for you over there?
Oh, gosh, man. Just any time that they trusted me with an important match, I think. I main evented like many of the TV shows. I main evented a couple of pay-per-views. And honestly, like, it just started to feel like home after a while. And, you know, I was there for 7-8 years. There was really like no low point for me personally in TNA. Like, I just loved the entire time I was there.
You have the opportunity to become the NXT Women's Champion at Battleground. Would you like to stay in NXT and really hone your craft and get better at what you do before you get called up to the main roster? Or would you rather get called up to the main roster tomorrow?
That's a hard answer.
Loaded question.
That's a loaded question. I am enjoying the time that I have in NXT now, because it's allowing me to get used to the WWE way. And AJ Styles is someone that I had just have like the ultimate respect for. He's someone that I've looked up to for a long time, and he's even come out and said, like, I wish that I had gone to NXT before and gotten that experience before coming to the main roster. And I think that really stuck with me. So I'm trying to just utilize my time here to the best of my ability. AJ
is one of my best examples of a young wrestler who, back in his day in TNA, thought his way was the quote-unquote right way. Yeah. And you would have guys like me or Booker or Kevin Nash or any of the veterans that were there, or Kurt, that would say, AJ, you're really great at what you do, but it's not until you get to the WWE that you're truly going to understand this, and you're truly going to get this, and you're going to learn psychology and the when and the why and the how. Did you get that same advice in TNA, and did you start learning more once you got up here? It's a completely different world in TNA than it is here. And I was, signed to TNA and doing work here kind of at the same time. I would make appearances, but it's not until I came here full time that I really started to understand, like, this really is a different ball game. Like, they have so many different resources here that you can pull from, like, and you can literally think of anything, like photography, coaching, like personal training, nutrition. Like, there's just so many different things that you can utilize here. What's the number one thing here that you utilize and take advantage of?
Definitely the coaches. Yeah.
I'm glad you gave me that answer, because I forgot about one of my questions earlier. You have so many great coaches at your disposal down here, so many great minds, including one of the greatest minds of all time in Shawn Michaels running the place. But who is your go-to coach in NXT?
My go-to coach would be either Oni, which was, I know him as Biff. I
Okay.
don't know if you know him as Biff from like the independent scene.
Okay.
And then Johnny Moss. So those are the two people and Sarah Amato. So those are like the three people that I kind of go to.
Okay. Pick one and tell me why you go to them.
Ooh. I think
You said Oni first, so I'm going
I
with
did
Oni.
say Oni first because he did my match today.
Okay.
But I feel like Johnny Moss.
Gun to your head, you get one coach. Who are you going to?
Johnny Moss.
Why?
Because he has literally agented every single one of my matches. I think this is the first one he hasn't done, and that's because he's in the UK. He did my first match here against Roxanne last year.
Do you feel like it's important for a producer or an agent and for a coach to establish a good personal relationship and professional personal as in they know what makes Jordynne Grace tick? Do you like having one coach at your disposal, or would you rather work with a different coach every single time or a different producer?
I think I'd rather just work with one coach every single time.
I agree. I agree with you. Like not one, but the ones at least that you gel with and you click with. Because I remember, back in my day, there was like if I wanted to learn how to reverse a Juja Katami armbar, I'd go see Dean Malenko. But I wasn't really grabbing a regular Juja Katami armbar, let alone reversing one.
Yeah.
So I would gravitate toward the Michael Hayeses or the Pat Pattersons.
Okay, let me tell you this. This is actually, I feel where you're coming from right now because there obviously are different coaches that specialize in different things. Like you would say, like, Norman Smiley does like the foundations of wrestling and like the technical wrestling. I think Johnny Moss, I don't know if you know his background, but he actually used to be like a bodybuilder himself.
Okay.
And when he worked on the independents, he worked like a strongman style.
Okay.
So maybe that's subconsciously why I've always gravitated towards him too.
I remember in '94 when I was training for the Olympia, I had to make up in my mind, was I going to stick with bodybuilding or was I going to become a wrestler? See, she popped for that one. We got the
Because I thought he was serious. I was like, hold on a second.
Because my delivery is really good. It's with that straight face. I make you believe. I make you believe. I know you're not going to have any days off between now and Battleground. But what does Jordynne Grace do on a day off?
On a day off, I sleep. Like, you just have to catch up on sleep. Like, I have 6 dogs, so I get them all on the couch.
You're a big animal lover.
I love
Which is another
animals.
reason why me and you like to see people who treat animals poorly
They're
down.
down.
They're going down. So you sleep, you hang out with the animals. What else?
That's it.